Thanks and welcome to TVC News this hour. Residents of Jigawa have been forced to take refuge in temporary camps and other places, including government facilities, as flood ravaged parts of the state. Executive Secretary of the State Emergency Management Agency, Sani Yusuf, confirmed that 50 persons have died and many others displaced in the incident. Some of the victims are from Balango village, where no fewer than 237 houses were destroyed, with 4 people dead. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs Sadiya Umar visited Jigawa to distribute relief materials. She was in the state alongside the Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, Mustafa Habib. Let's talk security now. Troops of Operation Hadin Kai, operating in the northeast, have rescued another Chibok girl and 3 others in Borno State. In a statement by the Nigerian Army on its Facebook page, the Chibok schoolgirl was rescued with her 4-year-old child at Bama local government, while the 3 others were rescued at Mongono local government area in the state. President of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association, Salamatu, donated relief materials and financial support to the rescued victims. The General Officer commanding 7th Division, Maj General W Shuaibu, disclosed that 2 of the girls were abducted this year, while 12-year-old Hauwa has been in captivity since she was an infant. In April 2014, Boko Haram terrorists kidnapped 276 female students from the government girls' secondary school in Chibok, Borno State. And the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has ordered the deployment of watertight security arrangements to cover all schools, hospitals, health workers, and critical national infrastructures across the country. The IGP has equally ordered regular patrols, stop and search, raids and show of force by tactical commanders to clamp down on pockets of crime and criminality recorded in some states of the Federation. He gave the directive while reviewing the general security situation of the nation via reports from commands and formations across the country. The IGP tasked strategic police managers at various levels to prioritize the use of intelligence gathering networks to locate criminal hideouts and flush them out before the strike. Now let's turn to Adamawa State, where the police command has arrested 38 suspects for different offenses and crimes. Those who were arrested during the sting operations include suspected kidnappers, informants, rapists, and a 58-year-old woman who was said to have killed her husband's female friend. Correspondent Bola reports.
The rising cases of kidnapping and other lawless activities have been of concern to relevant security agencies in Adamawa State. The police have been tirelessly working to bring to book those behind various crimes in the state. Now its efforts are now yielding targeted results, as kingpins of kidnappers terrorizing several communities in the state have been arrested. An AK-47, a pistol and a laptop computer were found in their possession.
I am glad this morning to let you know that with the support of the government and people of Adamawa State, commitment of our divisional police officers, the area commanders, the tactical teams that we have, the command has succeeded in removing 38 unworthy persons from our space. Most of these people are engaged in cases of kidnapping, armed robbery, rape, homicide, and Sheila activities.
A middle-aged woman who allegedly killed her husband's lover was among those paraded. The commissioner solicited support from community leaders and the general public to rid the state of criminal elements.
We have 2 persons who are employed as security guards to a family, and these security guards are in turn started giving information to their contemporaries who are kidnappers, and that is how those people were able to pick their victims.
At the end of the event, 11 newly promoted police officers elevated to the rank of superintendent for their diligent service were decorated by the Commissioner of Police.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has uncovered at least 442 parcels of crystal methanol sealed in heads of fish parked in cartons for export to Dubai through the circle shed of the Lagos airport. The 11.9 kilogram consignment was brought in by a freight agent from Kogi State who was arrested upon the discovery that the 7 cartons he presented to export contained parcels of the dangerous drugs. According to spokesman of the Anti-Narcotics Agency, Femi Babafemi, another consignment containing 1.45 kilograms cannabis was also intercepted by operatives who arrested the agent as well. Also, a 50-year-old was arrested in Enugu for ingesting 77 pellets of cocaine. President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed his former personal assistant on new media, Bashir Ahmed, as Special Assistant on Digital Communications. The appointment was confirmed by Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Bas Mustafa. Mustafa's appointment took effect from 19th of July this year. Bashir Ahmed resigned his previous position as personal assistant to the president in line with the presidential directive asking all political office holders wishing to contest elective office to resign. The presidential aide did not secure the ticket of the All Progressives Congress at the party's primaries for Gaya, Ajingi, Abasu federal constituency. And the Independent National Electoral Commission is seeking support of the academia, civil society organization, as well as the media in the fight against vote buying. This came to the fore at a roundtable organized by the Electoral Institute, the Research and Documentation Unit of INEC, which took place in Osogbo. We have details in this report.
It's a roundtable on the incidence of vote buying and selling in Ekiti and Osun governorship elections, implications for democratic consolidation, and 2023 general elections in Nigeria. Presenting the lead paper, former executive director of Civil Liberty Organization, IOB, says the problem is capable of derailing the country's democracy if not properly nipped in the bud. She stressed the need for political will to enforce laws guiding elections, calling on agencies saddled with the responsibility to enforce the laws.
If you are caught vote selling or vote buying, then you should face the law because it's against the law and we need to enforce the law. And people need to know that the law is being enforced. At the moment, we saw some arrests, but we don't know what's happened since then. And that's even Osun and Ekiti. These things happened some months ago. People should have been brought to trial and should have been prosecuted by now.
Other discussants at the event corroborated a submission.
The mafia are still disrupting election in Italy through vote buying. So it's not new. In Nigeria, we are witnessing what we call vote buying. It's not new. What we should do is to make policy on how to get it eradicated. A critical appraisal of the design of the voting cubicle should be considered, and then we should think about how we can make ensure that the secrecy of the vote, of the ballot, is further enhanced.
Chairman, Board of the INEC Electoral Institute, Professor Abdullahi Abdul Zuru, described vote trading as a disturbing issue in the conduct of free, fair, and credible election meant to consolidate the nation's democracy.
We must therefore never give up and submit that vote buying or vote trading is an insurmountable challenge.
This phenomenon operates against all INEC's reviewed policies, processes, innovation, and initiatives put in place to stem out political or election malpractices observed during the previous elections.
Other participants at the event berated poor handling of the criminal aspects of the electoral law since the return to democratic governance in 1999, describing it as a major factor for the emergence of various unlawful means by politicians to circumvent the process.
In the build-up to the 2023 elections, northern speakers of the All Progressives Congress have paid a congratulatory visit to the presidential candidate of the party, Bola Tinubu, at his campaign office in Abuja. Coordinator of the National Cash Transfer Office, who also visited the former governor of Lagos, disclosed that more than 10 million poor Nigerians have benefited from conditional cash transfer of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. Hauwa was there.
This is the Director General of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Governor Simon Lalong's first day in office, and is received by the party's presidential candidates. Members of the APC Northern Speakers Forum have come to congratulate Asiwaju Tinubu for his emergence as the flag bearer of the party in the forthcoming general election. They promise to work towards achieving victory for the Tinubu-Shettima tickets.
We believe you can do it, and we believe you can take Nigeria to a greater future.
We want to work for APC, make sure APC gets president and the governors, senators, everything inshallah.
Asiwaju Tinubu, Governor Lalong, and Speaker Gbajabiamila appealed to the APC Northern Speakers Forum to work towards securing their state for the party.
A very solid members of the House of Assembly, the speakers, ready to speak.
If you members of the State Assembly key into this project, you have a lot of people that look up to you, that you give direction to.
You have our trust, and by the grace of God, we are looking forward to a new Nigeria.
Coordinator of the National Cash Transfer Office of the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development was also on hand to give a report of the ministry's achievements.
We have 2 million poor and vulnerable homes in our national beneficiary register. We've been able to touch the lives of this at the grassroots. There is no intervention of this time since 1960 to date that has been able to penetrate the grassroots and the poor and the vulnerable homes in this country, like the conditional cash transfer. The 2 million poor and the vulnerable households translate to about 10 million individuals, poor and the vulnerable in the country.
APC office holders have done something to improve the lives of people. It's not a finished job, but we have done a lot. And if we keep quiet about it, then it doesn't get noticed. So this is the time for advocacy about what we have done and perhaps much more that we can do.
And eliminate poverty.
The APC presidential candidate urged all present to work together towards ensuring that Nigeria escapes from the shackles of poverty and backwardness. Asiwaju Tinubu further stressed his commitment to ensuring that the reward system in the party is properly structured if he becomes the president of Nigeria. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Abuja.
And leaders of Tinubu Legacy Forum in Ogun State have organized a one-day seminar for some members of the body in the state on how to strategize towards winning the forthcoming presidential election. The program had in attendance leaders of the group in the 20 local government areas of the state. They say the best candidate with the right attitude to governance and positive track record is the APC presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu.
We are projecting our principal, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, to be the next president, Federal Republic of Nigeria come year 2023.
We want to immortalize Tinubu's legacies across the nation. And through that, we've started empowerments, different empowerments, empowering the women, empowering the less privileged, empowering the youths, and the general society. We strongly believe in Tinubu.
And in convincing others, they're going to bring on board the majority of the people and the masses to accepting the fact that the gains that have been made thus far can be improved upon. And the only candidate that we believe, and they should believe, is Asiwaju.
And the Northeast Development Commission as well as Taraba State Government have jointly trained 150 youths on efficient waste management and A to Z practices of recycling waste in the state. They're expected to join efforts with government to end environmental pollution, which has been a major challenge in Jalingo, the state capital. Correspondent Bola filed this report.
These dirty areas littered with all forms of filth and waste are different locations in Jalingo, Taraba state capital. The state government has put in a lot of effort to make the state capital clean. Over 500 workers have been employed by the state government to clean all the streets of the state and educate citizens on the dangers of an unclean environment.
So the people living here, they should stop putting dustbin inside the quarter so that it will cause problem like cholera and other things.
At this gathering are 150 youths selected from 16 local governments in Taraba State for waste management training. They are expected to contribute to waste management at the end of a 3-day training organized by the state government and Northeast Development Commission. The training is to engage youth on waste management for employment and ensure a clean and sustainable environment. The managing director of NEDC, Mohammed Al-Khali, tells the participants that waste management is a money spinner if well harnessed. He explains that with the appropriate technology, the government and youth can venture into this venture and reduce unemployment.
So when you see scavengers around you, don't think that they will wasting time. Those people are rich people. When they pack in trailer loads of this waste and they are carrying it somewhere, that thing is money.
The government is optimistic that the training will make a positive impact.
You participants should pay keen attention and interest to this workshop.
Youths who spoke to TVC News at the workshop expressed gratitude to the state over the opportunity of not only being employed but being engaged in environmental cleaning.
Going by the workshop, it is assumed and expected that all the participants are now well equipped, advanced and educated on how to transform this waste to useful materials.
Over 5,000 youths have been empowered with various skills by the Ishaku administration since inception. The administration is poised to give the 150 youths trained in waste management the necessary equipment that will enable them to excel.
Outside Nigeria, at least 41 people have been killed and 14 others injured in a church fire in the city of Giza. Egypt's health ministry earlier said several people were killed in the fire at Abu Sifin Coptic Church and that ambulances transferred at least 55 injured people to local hospitals. According to a police statement, an initial investigation pointed to an electrical short circuit. 15 fire engines were dispatched to the scene to put out the flames while ambulances ferried the casualties to nearby hospitals. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has spoken by phone with the Coptic Christian Pope Tawadros II to offer his condolences. The Interior Ministry said it received a report on the fire at 9 a.m. local time and that they found that the blaze broke out in an air conditioner in the building's second story. The ministry, which oversees police and firefighters, blamed an electrical short circuit for the fire, which produced huge amounts of smoke. And flooding caused by torrential rains in Sudan have killed at least 52 persons and destroyed thousands of homes. More than 5,000 houses have been destroyed and 2,862 damaged across Sudan. Other public facilities, shops and agricultural lands were also damaged. North and South Kordofan states, River Nile State and South Darfur were among the most affected across Sudan. In a report, the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs estimated that around 38,000 people across Sudan have now been affected by rains and floods since the start of the rainy season. Heavy rains usually fall in Sudan between May and October, and the country faces severe flooding every year, wrecking properties, infrastructure, and crops.